Bro, I wish you were here, man.
I wish I was here too. The weather's here. Wish you were beautiful. How about that? Oh yeah, you're right. Hello and welcome to Big Pick for Week 7, the show where the sports betting experts, Brother Brian and Dan, will give you the best 4 picks for for Sunday's NFL games. The format goes 2 combined picks plus the Big Dan guarantee, followed by the Big Brian guarantee. Oh, okay. So where we're at, folks, is on the season. We're basically 500 with Dan getting a push on his guarantee last
That's
week.
a crock.
No, it's
There
not.
was 6.5 when we did the show, not 7.
7. Dan
No,
won.
there's
Dan won his.
There's no 6.5.
No, Dan won.
I want to see you. You got to come in the video. Here's Desiree.
Scott.
Brian, I have no doubt you're an O'Haran because you're drunk as shit, aren't you? The genes are there. If I were to cut you open, the molecules and everything else, the DNA is the same.
She's got you
Makes
picked.
me proud. Makes me proud.
By the way, back to our argument. How am I going to go up to 7?
No. 3 and 1,
When we
man.
did the show, before we went on, it was 6.5. And then all of a sudden you decide, wave your magic
No
wand.
way.
This
We
New
are
Orleans-
3 and 1.
The
And
Saints one
why?
changed, and then that one changed.
Why would you?
That was a
That's our
push.
show. We're 3 and 1.
That was a
No, it
push.
was not.
Come
Scott, it
on,
was not
man.
a push.
Was.
Dan, yo,
We're not going to argue
Scott.
about a half point.
Scott,
That was a push.
come on. Wait, time out. Come on. Scott.
All right, so they're about
So
even.
what, we get a tie?
Was there any discussion on last week's picks in terms of any shockers in the
No,
games?
No.
we were 3 and 1 though.
we did. I think we did well with
We
our
were 3
picks.
and 1.
Unfortunately, we pushed the Oakland game, I guess, but I think they're all solid picks.
You
All teams
told
won except for
Dan,
New
you're
Orleans.
being bad. You said we should tell Scott that we're 3 and 1.
I know, but
you're being bad.
I know, but I also want you to leave. That's my point. So I'm not going to argue anymore.
Dan, didn't I? If you go back to the tape, didn't I question that Bucks pick though?
After
Didn't
you
I
told us
question-
that the spread had changed, that would have changed a lot of things if we had known the proper spread. I mean, 7 and 4.5 is big, but then Drew Brees decided to throw 4 interceptions in the red zone, which killed us because they might have covered or at least pushed.
You know, we have a saying for that in the Army. It's called what is the maximum effective range of an excuse?
Yeah.
0.
Yeah. But we
That's
didn't do
right.
that bad. 2-1-1. I mean, compared to where we were for 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago we were 4 and 8. Now what are we? 13 and 12 or something. It's not bad.
Nice.
I think we're not 8 and 4 or 9 and 4 in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
With the Vag of the Week culminating at the end of the season for the Super Bowl show with the Vaggie Award.
Mark Sanchez.
So Dan, let's have the Vag
I
of the
think
Week.
Mark Sanchez is winning so far. I think he has 2. On the recommendation.
Yeah, but Dan, it's not just quantity; it's quality
sure,
too.
definitely. I think we had a good one this week. On the recommendation of Brian, and I agree with him, this week's badge is Jim Schwartz, the coach of the Lions, who went absolutely nuts because Jim Harbaugh gave him a little bit harder of a handshake than he really expected. So he went nuts, started running down the field after him. Come on. It's just a handshake. The guy was happy that his team won. Harbaugh's a very emotional coach. You can't let these things get the best of you. And he sort of caused a whole riot after the game. That got more coverage than the game did. And it showed him everywhere, across the country. And that was what they showed. They showed the 2 highlights from the game, and they showed the fight. That's not really becoming of a head coach. The head coach is the face of the franchise to the community. And he looked like a jerk trying to start a fight with Jim Harbaugh. So he is this week's badge of the week.
I think Harbaugh, gave him the gorilla arm, pushed him out of the way. I think if he didn't run him down and confront him, he would have gotten the award.
I know, but at least he could have punched him.
So I'd take issue with that.
He just got a wimpy
No.
half push. But he can't. The guy he shook his hand a little harder. What is he?
Yeah, he was showing his emotion. What's wrong with that?
Exactly. It's stupid. The guy is, I don't know. He would do the same thing. This guy,
No, I think if he had walked away and had not chased him down, then he would have been eligible for the award. So I think you got to go back and look at the
Jim
criteria.
Schwartz is an emotional guy too. He once, after a game 2 weeks
Scott,
ago,
it's
threw
not-
his headset on the ground until it broke.
Scott, it's not your award, it's Dan's award. Back off.
That's all right.
It's like step away from the gun.
Kids, this is why you shouldn't drink.
And Dan, you're not helping. You've given him more beer since he got to your
What am I
place.
supposed to do? Tie him to a chair? I need to get that woman who ties people in her basement.
I think we need to call the Ohio State Police out and have Brian
Yeah, right.
tranquilized.
No, they just shoot to kill. They don't even try to kill him.
Because he is an exotic
Yeah, right.
animal.
No, they just shoot all
I'm
those
sorry,
animals.
Scott. Is that sort of similar to the time that you were climbing the walls of Philadelphia like Spider-Man? Was that similar?
Yes, yes, we were cut from the same mold, obviously.
Yeah, right. Hopefully it broke that when it flew away.
So we will now move on to the first combined pick presented by Dan. Let's have it, Dan.
Our first combined pick is Pittsburgh at Arizona. Pittsburgh is favored by 4. Arizona stinks. And they gave Minnesota, who stinks, their first win. They just don't show up most of the time. Kevin Cobb has been awful. He has 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in 5 games, which are pretty bad numbers. Pittsburgh is tops in the NFL against the pass, whereas Arizona's offense is really based on throwing the ball. So they're going to have a big problem. Beanie Wells is banged up, and he's not that great anyway. Pittsburgh is 17-3 in the last 20 games, which they're favored. It doesn't say anything about covering the spread, but they do win, so at least it should be a push. Arizona allows 337 yards a game on defense. They allow 260 yards passing. They allow 25 points a game. So even though Pittsburgh played Jacksonville and they didn't really play that great in the second half, they had 315 yards in the first half and like 75 in the second half. They didn't do a whole lot, kind of like the Eagles. But Arizona's defense is pitiful. So I think Pittsburgh, and especially Rashard Mendenhall, could get really healthy this week against Arizona. Even though it is at Arizona, I think it favors Pittsburgh because the conditions are going to be good. It's indoors, and Kevin Cobb has proven that he's terrible. So I would expect this to be a walk for Pittsburgh to easily cover this. I mean, they should win by a touchdown or 10 points, something like that. So the 4 spread really shouldn't be much of a problem.
I would caution you. I think that the Cobb factor is playing into this. Your hatred for
No, not at all.
Cobb.
Not at all. I think Pittsburgh's
Yeah,
just superior. And Arizona has a long history, a 75-year history of being incompetent. Whether in Chicago, St. Louis, or Arizona, they just never built a good team. So, I mean, regardless of the quarterback, their defense stinks. They can't stop anyone. It's not like they're world beaters there to help Cobb out. I mean, I know his numbers are pedestrian, but it's nothing to do with it. Their defense is not going to stop Pittsburgh.
Well, I'm glad you at least mentioned that Pittsburgh has been bad on the road. Arizona did beat Cam Newton and his gang.
Yeah, that was week
right?
1. That's Arizona's only win. They've lost every game since.
And they lost to winless Minnesota.
Yeah, and previously winless Minnesota, who got romped by Chicago, which, by the way, was a good pick of ours last week. But, I just don't see it in Arizona.
I just want you to keep in mind what happened to the Steelers on the road in Baltimore, and just remember this message.
All right, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. I agree. That's your call. It's a judgment call. Just be mindful of it. That's all.
Just be mindful. It's a judgment
They had
call.
the
All
worst
right.
turnovers in one game in 25 years against Baltimore. Arizona's not that good.
Wow. So first pick in the books for the Iron City on the road, and the second combined pick from Brother Brian. Let's have it.
This is unprecedented, my friends. I would like to announce to the people that are watching that I am drunk, and I'm happy to be drunk. It's my birthday, so I'm gonna not even analyze my pick. All I'm saying is take Washington plus 2.5 at Carolina. No further analysis necessary. It's my birthday. It's my birthday, and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I need to.
Nice. Well, I will drop in a little analysis on that game. I think it's a good pick. Obviously exciting with Beck's first start since 2007 when he was with the Dolphins on the road against Cam Newton. But yet again, I think this is following Brian's formula of he loves to pick on the rookie QBs, Dan,
yeah,
right?
But you have to be careful. Carolina's 5-1 against the spread this season.
Wow. No, but I think the only thing that concerns me is the O-line for the Redskins is banged up. So you got Beck coming in, for his first start, and the O-line, Trent Williams is out. So
it doesn't matter.
This is one important thing I want to point out is in last Sunday's game, the center was offside.
The center was offside.
He went offsides. He had the ball in his hand, and he went offside.
What are you talking about?
With the ball in his hand.
Carolina's defense is terrible, and Redskins have a competent defense. And Tom Beck can move around a little bit, so whatever pass rush exists in Carolina, I think they will get away from it. Washington should win. They should be pretty upset about what happened last week. And they actually played okay once Beck came in and Sexy Rexy went to the bench. Should I pull out his microphone from the cord? So you can't hear him anymore?
So, ladies and gentlemen.
You got a commercial.
Ladies and gentlemen, now a word from our sponsor.
Never hungry, always thirsty. Thirsty for beer.
I hope you enjoyed that announcement from our sponsor. Please patronize those products. Now we will move in to the first guarantee of Week 7 from none other than Big Dan. Let's have it.
All right. My Big D guarantee this week is Green Bay at Minnesota. Green Bay favored by 9.5. Green Bay has won 7 of their last 10 against Minnesota. Green Bay swept the series last year. Green Bay is 12-9 against Minnesota since 2001. Green Bay is also 21-10 against the spread in their last 31 divisional games. Minnesota's allowing 24 points a game. Green Bay scores 33 points a game. Minnesota's starting a rookie QB this week, Christian Ponder, because McMope finally shit the bed last week against his favorite team, the Bears, after his mom walked out on him.